Hello. So I'm here with
Hello.
Sham-e-Ali Nayeem, who is a poet, musician, and multidisciplinary artist. And she is going to answer some questions about quilting water. Hello.
Hello.
So I have 5 questions for you. The first question is, what is one memory you have of water?
I have so many memories of water. I don't even know which one to pick, but I'm going to pick the most simplest one. I go to a river or, like a creek every single day for a walk or run. And something that I learned from visiting it every day is that you start to build a relationship with it. And so that's the one I'm going to pick because sometimes we cross paths with water and we might not be back to that part of the world or that part of the land. But how beautiful when it's water that's near you, that's close to you, that's part of the land that you are living on. Um, there's something so powerful to that for me.
Thank you for that. What is one story or myth you received about water?
So when I'm a Muslim, and when we pray, every time before we pray, we use water to cleanse ourselves before prayer. It's called wudu. And it's like a ritual purification before prayer. And so to me, that's a story that I know and a practice that is a deep part of my life since a child. And how wonderful the water feels before prayer and how beautiful the wudu ablutions are. Um, it just puts you in a really lovely state and you start to connect with water in the ways in which it can heal you.
Thank you. What has water given you?
Oh my God, everything, life. We come from water just even in the womb. And I'm also a mother, so I remember when my waters broke and how powerful that was. And so water is life.
What has water taken away?
So yes, water is also a cleanser, um, and it takes away all the things that don't serve us. Um, it's it's very powerful. You can think it's only gentle, but it also is really powerful and requires a lot of humility. Um, and so um, I hold a lot of reverence towards water.
And the final question, what is one dream or wish that you have for water?
Mhm. I really wish that we could all hold such reverence towards water, where we care for it with the utmost care, and we aren't polluting it, we aren't disregarding it, we aren't, not valuing it when it is our entire life. Um, and so I wish healing for water, I wish reverence for water and respect for water. Um, for it is the thing that keeps us all alive and sustains all of us, all living creatures of the earth.
So those are the questions that I have. Did you want to add on to anything? Maybe talk a little bit more about your relationship with water or even some of the clips that you took in the video that we talked about?
Well, um, the clips for the video I took over years and years. So it was many, many years, maybe over a decade worth of capturing different kinds of forms of water um, all over the world. Uh, I would just be in awe anytime I see the ocean or river. Um, and So I didn't know this was going to become a video. It was actually just my own personal videos. And when I put it all together, you start to feel this story of all these bodies of water, how connected they are, how connected we are to them, and how even though it feels so vast and so far away, and each of these different rivers or oceans are far from each other, the rivers are all flowing into the ocean, you know, the water evaporates into the clouds and then comes down again as rain. And, all of it is so deeply connected, and a reminder how connected we are to everything in this earth. And that if there's a harm to one part of the earth, it's a harm to all of us. And so it was really beautiful to kind of viscerally see the ways it felt like it just fit like gloves with each other, all the different clips that are, some of which weren't shot the greatest, but you feel the energy of each of the water sources. And so to me, I just thought it was a really beautiful visual to the poem, which is to a poem about connecting with yourself and spirit, and with the divine, and seeing yourself, what is between you and you. I have another poem in my collection called City of Pearls, and I can't remember the title of it, but the poem itself is what happens here is yours, and it's about the ocean. And what happens here is yours. We have such a deep and sacred connection with water, and it's a real means to grow closer to God, in my opinion. And closer to ourselves, which is why I chose those images for a poem about growing closer to yourself.
You mentioned that you took these images and clips all over or different places in the world. Do you remember exactly where?
Yeah, well, some of it was in Aotearoa, which is the Maori word for New Zealand. And some was the Pacific Ocean, some was the Atlantic Ocean, some were water in Hawaii, some were just local places on the East Coast. I think Florida was in there. And I think also, if I could be correct, there was Nepal in there as well, and possibly also other parts of South Asia. I can't remember everything because there were so many different clips, but those were just some of the places. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you.
You're
Well,
welcome.